Hello there and welcome to the TheScottReaProject, and today we are going to be talking turkey. Now, there are some meals you have to get right first time, and this is one of them. Your Christmas meal, or for my friends over the pond, you lucky fellas, you get 2 cracks at it, Thanksgiving and Christmas, but it's one of those meals that if you get wrong, it's the one that most people remember. So what I'm going to do today, I am going to show you how to cook the perfect roast turkey, and I shall go on and I shall do some other videos. I shall show you stuffing, roast potatoes and gravy, but they'll come later on. Today we are going to concentrate on the turkey. Now the turkeys, as you know, they come in all shapes, sizes and prices. This is a frozen supermarket one. I mean, you can have your free range, your organic, you know, your rare breeds, whatever, but I'm just going to show you how you can do it with a good old simple supermarket turkey. So the first thing we've got to do then is make up a butter to get under that skin, because as you know, it's a bit like game, you know, it's got no fat on it, and that's the trouble. You know, we've all eaten tons of dried turkey, but today we're going to put that right. So I'm going to move the turkey out of the way. I'm going to get the giblets on to start making the stock for a gravy, which will be in another video, but I want to get that on anyway just to show you how easy that is, and we'll make that butter. It's time to rock. So before we start working on this fabulous bird, I am just going to get the giblets on. This will make the base stock for our gravy. So just chop the neck up into some cold water, open the bag, put in the heart, the liver, you normally get the gizzard, into there. I've just got a couple of onions, I've halved, some carrots. You haven't got to be fussy, you haven't even got to peel them, get them in. Simple as. And like I said, I will be showing you the other dishes in other videos, and I know it's getting near Thanksgiving for my American friends, so it'll all be done and up there ready to rock. And I'm just going to put 2 sticks of celery. I'm just going to put in a little bit of thyme, just put in a rosemary, and I will bring that up to the boil, skim any of the impurities off the top, then we'll simmer that for an hour and a half. Now let's get on and sort this bird out. So what we're basically doing then is we're making a butter to put under the skin of the bird to add some lubrication, so when it cooks it all melts into that lovely breast. Who makes them? So I'm just going to take, say, 2/3 of a stick of butter. I'm going to save that because we will be basting it on the top, and you want this at room temperature. And I will say that oven has been on full afterburner. It's at high heat, and I'm really giving it a good preheat for when we put it in. And that bird, obviously it took 2.5 days to defrost, because that is a 5 kilo turkey, and I defrosted it properly in the fridge and then washed it out, and we'll give it a pat dry so it's all nice and dry inside and out. So get that one rosemary in there, take another one, haven't got to be too fussy. I mean, you could use dry ones if you want. So a couple of sprigs of thyme, I'll just strip the little leaves off, nice and fresh. And I will talk you through the whole process with the temperatures, obviously, because that's critical. But I'm going to cook mine wrapped in foil. I mean, as you know, there's tons of videos out there on how to roast turkeys, but this is the TheScottReaProject's take on it. And as you know me, 10 times out of 10, it works, it's easy, it's doable. And this section of it, you know, putting the butter on, can be done the night before. So all you've got to do is come down in the morning, take it out, get up to room temperature, and slam the bad boy in. So into our butter, rosemary and thyme. the juice of a lemon. Now, believe it or not, I couldn't get fresh sage, but it's no bother. I'm just going to use a bit of dry, so we get that in there. And then it's just a case of, I'm afraid, getting your hands in and squishing it all together. Nice. Smells amazing. Obviously you want that so it's really workable. Now that's unsalted butter, so I'm just going to season that up with a bit of sea salt and pepper. Good crank of freshly milled pepper. And some nice molten sea salt. So I said then this was a defrosted, just normal, generic, shop bought turkey. I've defrosted it properly, swilled it inside and out, then patted it dry. Now here's the trick. You've got to lift up the neck flap and just get your hand gently in, and you'll feel where the skin joins the breast, and just gently get your hand underneath and just start loosening it from around. Take your time, you know. And then from the front way, that little flap there, get your hand in, and as you can see my hand over the top. Same with the other side. And then she's nicely loose now. That don't sound right, nicely loose. So we take a little bit of our butter, that one, ferry it up into the breasts and just gently press it down. Obviously not too much, but you want it up on that breast, and you can massage it all around, and all that will melt when it cooks and keep it nice and moist. Same with this bit. Just gently fettle it under, and just massage it. And it doesn't really matter if you get any on the top, because we are going to baste the top with that remaining butter as well. So let's get it. It is a bit fiddly, don't get me wrong, but it's what it needs. So I shall carry on doing that, and I shall show you the finished article. As you can see then, I've got that butter all under that skin. Now here's the tricky part. We've got to go all ghost. We've got to just smother this breast and the top of the drumsticks with this butter. Got to go all ghost. Whoa, my love, my darling. I don't think so. So we get that on there. I'm going to smother some on there, and it is a bit tricky, but it's well worth it in the long run. Smoother it round. Sticky, baby, sticky. I mean, it don't look right, don't get me wrong, I know that, but this is what you need to do. So I'm just going to take a cocktail stick, push it through there, obviously, because when that cooks I don't want the skin sliding off. So to doubly make sure we got a nice moist turkey, take some nice streaky bacon, some smoked bacon. I'm going to give it its own jacket. Just lay in the pieces, one on top of each other. How good's that looking? Oh, all dressed up and nowhere to go. So what I'm going to do then is turn that round. I've seasoned inside the cavity, so I'm just going to put a couple of little onions, and then half a lemon. You'll notice I haven't stuffed my turkey. I like my stuffing done separately so it gets all crisp, but that will all perfume up into the breast meat. So all we're going to do now is season the whole bird on the outside. So plenty of pepper, nicely fresh milled black pepper, and obviously there's going to be a little bit of salt in that bacon, so we won't give it too much salt. So just put a bit and make sure it sticks to all that lovely butter. And on the wings, get a bit of pepper on there as well. She's ready to be wrapped up for her final journey. Okay, now here's the secret to cooking it. You want some kitchen salt. Obviously if you can get the ones that designated turkey foil would be better, but oh no, it's not that simple. They only have this stuff. So I'm just going to put 2 sheets lengthways, and then 2 sheets widthways. So there is its lovely cocoon. Now, there's been a lot of talk about which way foil should be used, and it doesn't make a difference. Trust me, it doesn't make a difference. So once we got our bird sat in it, bring up our sides, and we just gently fold it down because we want to keep a cavity, and I shall show you in a moment what I mean. Gently bring our ends in. So if you look in there, it's not touching the top of the bird, so it's like an oven in an oven. So just gently crimp the edges together, make sure that's proud, and then we're going to pop it in the oven. Right, the temperature for this behemoth. So my oven has been on full bore, gas mark 9, for about 20-30 minutes now. Obviously we've took this out the fridge before we started cooking it to bring it up to room temperature. So I'm going to turn my oven down to gas mark 7, and that's going in for initial heat for 40 minutes on gas mark 7. Okay then, not a lot to report at the moment. I'll just show you that stock. It's been simmering for 40 minutes, it's coming down nicely. Now my turkey, as you may remember, is just at its initial 30 minutes blast at gas mark 7. You'll see it there for the conversion. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it down to gas mark 3 to start the cooking process. And what that initial 30 minutes does, it gets the heat straight into the turkey to start cooking it. Obviously, you know, it's cold, colder inside the carcass, but that initial blast starts it on its way. So I've turned it down to gas mark 3, look up there for the conversion, and now we are going to work out the timing for the size of that bird. It's easy, it's simple, trust me, I'm almost professional. Okay, so the cooking times. Now that's a 5 kilo turkey. I've given it that initial heat for 40 minutes. I know I said 30 before. 40 minutes at gas mark 7. Then I turn the heat down to gas mark 3, and I'm going to give it 30 minutes a kilo. So 5 kilos, 150 minutes, 2.5 hours. So that's your 40 minutes initial burst, 2.5 hours cooking at gas mark 3. Then what we'll do, we'll take it out, we'll check the temperatures, we're going to put the oven straight up again to gas mark 6, uncover it, take the bacon off, and then we're going to brown that bird off, and that'll give us an overall cooking time of 3 hours and 40 minutes total cooking time. But you know, after those 3 hours 40 minutes, if it's still not up to temperature, we'll check the temperature. Obviously we'll pierce the thigh, the thickest part. If not, we can just put it back in and we can judge it by then. I mean, you can always take the method of cooking off the back of the packaging, not a problem. Normally gas mark 5, 30 minutes a kilo and 90 minutes over. But this is the way I'm doing it, nice and slow, taking its time. All that juice is going back in. Trust me, it's going to be a winner. Okay, now I know that was a lot of information to take in, but once you read it over and you get it straight in your head, it really is straightforward. So that's been in gas mark 3 now. I haven't looked at it, I haven't moved it for 2.5 hours. So now we are going to have a look to see where we are. Beautiful. Right, so I'm just going to take the temperature. Well, I don't know if you can see on there, the optimum temperature we're looking for once it's fully cooked is 75 degrees Celsius or 170 Fahrenheit. We're now on a 68.9, so this is when we give it that final burst of heat now. So gas mark 6, we'll just peel away the foil a bit, take off that bacon. I'll try a bit of that bacon. You could crisp that up back in the oven. We're going to put that back in the oven to brown it off. And what you can see under there, all those lovely herbs. So gas mark 6 then for the final 30 minutes. And we want to baste it every 10 minutes. So that 30 minutes, obviously with the basting, is going to turn into about 45. Just to confuse you more, I should check on that. 10 minutes. Right, that's the first 10 minutes. I am going to baste this, start that browning process, which it is doing very nice on its own. Thank you very much. What I'm going to do to make things easier, I'm going to take it out of my tray. So I can get to all those juices underneath. You can see my turkey, it's just starting to brown nicely. Find the easiest way. I want to use all this lovely juice, all that herb infused butter. If I keep that on top of the pan, just with a little heat on it, I can ladle all those lovely juices onto my turkey without having to worry about a baster or worry about losing any of that precious juice. So I've just poured some of the juices off into this little saucepan, and I can easily get to it. That'll go back in now for another 10 minutes to brown even more. I shall keep the juices warm on the hob there. So meanwhile then, while we're waiting for that turkey to brown off, I'm just going to separate these veggies to the liquor, and that will be part of our gravy. And of course you'd be making this while you were resting your turkey, and I should do a video of this very, very soon. So there's our turkey stock ready for our gravy. It's that simple. Right then, she's ready for another base now. That's been 20 minutes on that high heat to brown it. And it really is a neat little trick to pour off some of the juices. It's so easy to baste then. Especially if you've got a smaller roasting tin, you know. If you haven't got a baster, trying to get a spoon in this way, it just proves how easy it is. It's coming on lovely. So that'll have another 10 minutes. Then we can rest her. Okay then, so that's at the last of its high heat at the end, and that is pretty much the finished article. Now all we need to do is rest it. First of all, I'm going to take a reading in the thickest part of the thigh. I said it wanted to be 75 Celsius, 175 Fahrenheit. It's coming up beautiful, 69, 70, and that will be the ultimate cooking temperature. Lovely, 73. I'm well chuffed. Now what we do, I'm going to take that out of there, put it on a plate or into a tray, cover it loosely with foil, and we let it rest for a minimum of 30 minutes. But in that meantime, this is when you pour all your juices off, get your gravy going. You would have already parboiled your potatoes. You get those in the oven, and those 2 videos are coming soon. That is amazing. Needed to be 75, and if you can see that, it was 74.9, so spot on. I should transfer that to another tray because I want all the juices out of that tin. And it's a good chance now to, if I just spin it round, let's get a cloth. It's a good chance now to all that onion and all that lemon that's in there, give it a smash down. And what I'm going to do with mine, I'm going to rest it breast side up, so all the juices that are stuck in that cavity as well will go down into the breast meat and make it ultra tender. So all our hard work is under there. So she's loosely covered in foil, like I said, for at least a minimum of half an hour, up to 45 minutes. It will keep for an hour, so you can get your potatoes on, like I said, your gravy and your sides. But we'll rest that, and I did say breast side up, it was breast side down. I do apologise, you know, it's getting to that point where I just want to eat this now, and in half an hour we can see if all our work's paid off. But I got a feeling, fingers crossed, it has. Okay then, the moment of truth. That's at the resting time. We've come a long way, me and this turkey. I don't know whether to eat it or hug it, but what we're going to do is we're definitely going to try it. Just going to put it on there so you can see all those lovely juices still left from the resting. That'll go for my gravy. Let's just have a look at that for a minute. What a fantastic looking bird. Right, shall we? Just see if this is nice and moist. Let's take that first bit off and just have a look at how nice that is. Oh. That is a perfectly tender, as you can see the knife just gently through it. If you have a look, oh yeah. Well, there you go folks, that's the Scott Project's way of cooking a turkey. Excuse me, I love the skin. So make sure you give this a go. You know, it's a great method, and as you can see, it works. And you know, if you like what you've seen here today, please subscribe to the channel. It's growing, there's loads more to come. Find me on Twitter at TheScottReaProject if you've got any questions, especially about this, because I know how important this is for you guys out there at Christmas to get this right. I will answer them. Remember, there's a videos coming of the stuffing, potatoes and gravy and sides. But until next time, I'm going to get some of this down my neck. See you again. Thanks for watching. Just look how nice and moist that is. Oh, someone's got to do it.